People, welcome back to Politics Watch. Now, the man that's currently on your screen right now is Owen Clark, aka Roy Fall or Father Fall. Now, most people, especially Jamaicans, would already know that. He recently passed away. Now, there are very few people in Jamaica who, especially criminals, whose actions were so great that they led to policy change. Roy Fall was one of them. Now, Roy Fall is a father. He was actually very popular in the dancehall scene. He was known for being generous, buy out the bar, shower the woman with money, the woman them love him, etc. He was not your typical Don in the sense that Roy Fall was not as obsessed with violence as most Dons were. Right? He was not really the badness type. He was not very aggressive, was not in your face. He was motivated primarily by cash. Now, Roy Fall and the British Link-Up crew, in their heyday, did something that would change the lives of many Jamaicans forever. Now, Roy Fall have a lot of fans and supporters. So before I get into the meat of this video, I invite those people to jump in the comment section and get as angry as they want and tell me how much people him did feed and how much him did buy liquor one night and how much school fee him probably pay and school book and treat. And yeah, this is your time to jump in the comment section. Now, for the rest of you, I'm going to show you how Roy Fall and the British Link-Up crew made the British government change their laws so that Jamaicans could no longer enter the UK with just a Jamaican passport. Those of you who are old enough remember a time when you could go to England with nothing more than your Jamaican passport. Somebody would file for you, you turn up, do an interview, and you go to the person who will file for you. If you fail the interview, you might get turned back then, but you didn't need a visa. Why did Jamaicans suddenly need a visa to go to the UK? This is what's happening, people, or this is what happened. Late 90s, early 2000s, British Link-Up crew was getting out of hand. There were a lot of cases. Their style, their trademark, was to send mules from Jamaica to the UK with pallets of the white lady, that white powder in their stomach, and they would get to the UK and then they would bring up the pellets and the men would take the white powder and carry on their trade. Now, what was happening is a lot of those pellets were exploding inside of people and they would die. A lot of people, especially women, because the mules were primarily women, they would die from having these pellets of the white powder exploding inside of them. People would die on the plane, people would land and then pass out, etc. Now, the British government also realized that on the streets of London, there was an upsurge in violence because even though Roy Fall was not, as I said, a typical obsessed with violence Don, there still was a lot of violence surrounding the British Link-Up crew. Because obviously, when you're in that kind of business, you have rivals. People get jealous, people get envious. Some of your own men try to steal from you, etc. Right? Now, people remember back then, Brixton was hot like fire. Places like Brixton, Peckham, South London, Northwest London. You people know. People from Northwest London, South London, jump in the comment section and tell people what London was like back in the days of British Link-Up. Now, Roy Fowl and the British Link-Up crew were making millions of pounds, right? It wasn't until people started to die in those planes and in London, and until the violence started to get out of hand, the British government decided that Jamaicans will now have to be screened before they come to the UK. So suddenly, it went from all you need is a passport to now you have to go through this rigorous process to get a UK visa. And anybody who's ever gone to get a UK visa will tell you it's probably the hardest visa you can get, especially compared to US and Canada. They want you to prove this and they want you to prove that. That started primarily because of Roy Fowl and the British Link-Up crew. And as I said, a lot of people are going to get upset, even though I posted evidence. The document that I posted was actually a very large file about the British Link-Up crew and crime in the UK at the time surrounding Jamaica. And you can go and do your own research about it. People, this is something that I've spent a lot of time looking into. I wouldn't just do a random video on a dead man for the sake of it. It was primarily Roy Fowl and British Link-Up crew that made the UK government change their laws about people entering the country with just a passport. Now, people, do not get it twisted. Jamaicans were not and are not the biggest narcotics traffickers in the UK. Nowhere near. All the money Roy Fowl and British Link-Up were making was peanuts compared to what certain people were making in the UK. What get out Roy Fowl and the British Link-Up crew was their extravagance. One of their trademark was to get a £50 note, which is the highest currency you can get in the UK, and to light it on fire. Let me say that again. Roy Fowl and the British Link-Up crew, their trademark was to get a £50 note and light it on fire. I'm not telling you about something I read in a book or something I saw in a documentary. I'm telling you about things that not just myself but a lot of people saw with their own two eyes. When you burn the British currency, to some people it might sound light, it's just a piece of paper. The British people are looking at it from the point of view that not only are you burning our currency, you're burning an image of the Queen. Scotland Yard had to get out Roy Fowl. They had to get out British Link-Up crew because they had now crossed the line. They'd now stepped over their boundaries. Roy Fowl and the British Link-Up crew could have made a lot more money if they had just mastered the art of laying low. Their obsession with extravagance and just general ostentatious behavior made them stand out like a sore thumb, and they are some of the reasons why people associate Jamaicans with criminality and narcotics trading. To this day, Jamaicans wear the stigma of being criminals because of the actions of the Roy Fowl and the British Link-Up crew and the other crews that were operating at the time. People, as I said, very few people managed to cause a country to make changes to their laws and changes to their policies. Roy Fowl and the British link-up crew was one of them. Now I know people are going to say, oh, you're talking about a dead man, respect the dead. Let me ask you people a question. Who say respect the dead? Do you respect Hitler? Do you respect slave owners? I mean, they're dead. This idea that you should respect the dead is nonsense in my opinion. You're judged in death as you are in life, as what you did in life. All these men who are hurting these children and killing their women and then killing themselves, when they die, do we say, oh, respect them because they're dead? No, we call them out still. Not because they're gone doesn't mean that your actions should be erased and you're now suddenly a respectable person. And as I said, I'm sure Roy Fowler was a nice man to a lot of people. But I'm talking about the bigger picture. There was a time when Jamaicans could buy a ticket, go to England, work some money, and come back and feed them family and build a little house, buy some block, buy some cement. It was Roy Fowler and the British link-up crew and the Jamaicans who lived in the UK in that period of time, late 90s, early 2000s, who caused the law to change. People jump in the comment section and tell me what you think. People who live in the UK, especially around that time, I want you to also jump in and tell me. And tell me if you don't remember why and how the laws changed as it relates to visa and people getting entry to the UK. This is Politics Watch. Big up.